August 27th, 2021. This is the beginning of this. I want to just showcase this clip real quick that I was catching before I went out for my walk. Something called my attention to the living room.
Tourist traffic and a bunch of activities returning to the
I know
crossroads
this
of
is
the world. New York City
DHS
is once again turning its focus to
important.
try to rein in those costume characters. The city council passed legislation to toughen regulations on street vendors and performers. The plan would create areas inside a theater district zone.
Okay, this never existed when I was little. Not ever. Not in Manhattan. But this is what's going on in Manhattan now under this new administration and this new governance where I'm being held POWMIA, and it seems like it's running itself really scary.
Zone between 40th and 50th Streets and from 6th to 8th Avenues where they can hawk their wares. News Source Erica Byfield's in Times Square with more on...
Did they just say hawk? HAWK. I'm pretty sure that Hank and I disagree with whatever this is, since he and I are genie in genealogy, for sure. And this is a newcomer, and the problems didn't arise until the newcomer broke its way into our family lineal system as a prime meridian. I'm saying so, and I'm calling it like it is. For my hero that fights elsewhere.
What we've learned about this, Erica?
Hi, David. Yeah, well, city leaders are telling us this. They want to make it very clear where everything can happen here. There'll be designated areas to walk, and then there'll be separate areas to sell something. They tell us that this is all coming about because of complaints from tourists and vendors. Times Square is back to drawing 300,000 people per day. We found the sidewalks busy and tourists buzzing, captivated by the lights, action, yet annoyed by the costume characters pushing pictures.
They want you to take pictures with them and you don't want to. So, but I mean, other than that, that's pretty cool.
I like Times Square even though they are here. I really love to be here.
In 2016, the city council created commercial zones here, designated spots to sell things. The shift was meant to rein those performers in. It hasn't.
I don't really like being stopped to ask to take a picture with them.
This week, the city council overwhelmingly passed a bill to strengthen the law. If signed by the mayor, anyone selling anything would have to complete that entire transaction in a certain spot. It would regulate how something is sold from 40th to 50th Streets between 6th and 8th Avenues.
I'm just curious, did my Disney representative show up? Does anybody know? And put a name and a face to who is making decisions for Disney? Because I wasn't invited into a city council meeting, a Disney princess meeting, a New York City meeting, a POWMIA meeting. Was Hank there? I'm just curious because the HAWKEYE wasn't there, and there seems to be a lot of stuff going on that they're dancing despite us and around us, and then causing more problems in actuality.
What we're trying to do is to make sure that everything happens in those commercial zones, and that we're creating really clear pedestrian space for people that are going.
This is the face of something that calls itself a Jew. Just so you know. There's a lot of this. I cannot confirm or deny if he's a Jew. I can't define it. It's like an American. I don't know what an American looks like. I don't know what a Jew looks like. Because this, I would have thought that perhaps, but this is going against this is working with ducks and goats on a horse, sheep, and I need a horse, a sheep, and a cow. And this came on the scene unsolicited and introduced goats, pigs, ducks, and a whole lot of Canadian geese and all sorts of other stuff that was not in the original Clivesdale horse, cow, and sheep meeting in Dublin, Ireland. Just saying. This does not exist in Dublin, Ireland. This is a lot more, maybe Belfast, South Africa. I'm not sure. I haven't been there, so I can't assess the situation and who's hanging out down there. But Belfast, Ireland does not look like this. Just saying. Lineage, heritage, and genealogy. I'm on Earth. There's one sun solar system. There's a Milky Way, and there's a universe. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361, somewhere between a Gotham with a Gothic problem and an Empire State and a problem with the Ottoman Empire, praying to God that Hank at the Austrian Empire is winning every day he goes to work in something important in wool.
That are going through or visiting Times Square.
Adding to the push for change, recent shootings in the crossroads of the world that injured innocent tourists. In May, a 4-year-old and some adults were shot when 2 vendors fought. Then in June, a turf spat ended with a Marine seriously hurt.
I think those high-profile shootings in Times Square have added a level of urgency of making more sense of it.
The Times Square Alliance plans to make changes too, adding regular meetings with vendors and posting signs to let tourists know that characters want to get paid for photos. The group's president said, "We are committed to work with the designated actors in Times Square and create a working group that respects the rights of all."
I would say that's a great policy.
A major shift to create space to walk that's separate from the spot to get paid for a snapshot.
I think having a designated spot for these characters actually would be best for those people who actually do want to take pictures.
City leaders were telling us that we should expect to see these changes sometime in late October.
This looks like an Eric Adams representative, by the way, in the city.
Oprah is lending her voice to a new marketing campaign focused on bringing people back to Broadway theaters this fall. It is called This is Broadway and features a video narrated by Oprah, which will start airing on Monday all over the city, from Times Square to taxis, social media, and television. It takes viewers through a history of Broadway, featuring both past and present shows. And the idea is to coax theatergoers who might be a bit nervous to come back and get in the seats when many shows open next month. Next for us, a walk to remember. One man's journey from Boston to New York with an airline card. The path he's making as he pushes on to his final destination. And an incredible story of heroism. A pilot rescues more than a dozen people from the devastating floods in Tennessee. How he pulled off daring maneuvers.
Oh, yes. Someone has a question back there.
Hello. Hi, Carl from Waukegan. I was just wondering about your Caesars Sportsbook app, and I did some digging, and apparently I can only get my Caesars rewards on the Caesars Sportsbook app?
Yes, Carl.
Okay.
Only Caesars is going to be able to give you Caesars rewards. They're my rewards. Why would someone else give them to you, Carl, if it's called Caesars rewards? It's Caesars rewarding you.
Now here's my question. Why is Caesar being painted Chotsy, Yahtzee, dicey color? I'm just curious. Caesar has never in the history of the world ever been anything darker than my genealogy, and nor will it ever be recognized as anything but what it was expected to be. None of this has earned anything. It has earned my complete disrespect, and they've dishonored themselves by participating in humanity this way. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza.